Morning. My name is Monica Alexandra Arias Pacagui, and I am a student at UNAT. And today I am going to interview teacher Clara about uh, bilingual policies and English teacher in Colombia. Thank you and think this interview. Let's start with the questions. Number one, what are the main challenges that Colombian schools face when implement bilingual policies?
Okay, so in my personal opinion, I think the main challenges that the teachers have in the Colombian schools are the implementation of resources such as textbooks, technological tools, and internet access, because some of the schools are in zones that don't have these tools to improve the skills of the students to learn a new language. Additionally, the national policies often don't consider the specific sociocultural and linguistic realities of each region. So, some communities don't have the tools to start that classes, that implementation of the languages, the practice, or the spaces to do the classes. So the students don't have a motivation to start learning English. I think is one of the most important challenges, but some other challenges is that the students don't have the conviction, the interest to learn the language, because they don't have the same the examples of the persons in their spaces in their lives to try to keep them motivating to learn a language. So I think that's the most important part to have a challenge in the Colombian education. The teachers can have the resources to be the easiest part the implementing these policies.
Number two, how the bilingual uh, policies impact educational acute between urban and rural schools in Colombia.
Well, the urban schools have better access to technological resources or the materials that the teachers can do, like books, notebooks, computers, and this makes easier to the teacher to have the class in a good timing and to apply the policies that the education accept. But we have a really very bad problem, because we have that the struggles of the rural schools have a lot of limitations, like the infrastructure, the materials, the technological tools, and others. Even the vehicles to the children can get access to the schools. So we have these impacts that don't have a good equity between the urban and rural schools. So these limitations results in the students in rural have a lower opportunities than the students of the urban schools. So this marks a very top of struggle. Um, they make a lot difficult to the students that don't have the opportunities to have jobs in the future. So that's the point.
Oui. In your opinion, are the basics learned right and English aligned with students' real communicative needs? What or why not?
Well, this is a good question, but it has a problem because the students in today's day don't have the grammar or the vocabulary because they are too dependent of the technological tools. They have the translator, they have the IAS and the eyes, sorry. So the basic learning rights of English don't fulfill the students' needs. So I think they are not fully aligned because these students of today's days don't have enough focus in their real life communication. They use a lot of tools and they don't have a structure. They don't practice a lot. They don't have the situations to understand or speak like in the practices. So we have like those problems. So that's, I think, that they don't have that aligned basic learning rights.
Number 4. What great extracts, pardon, can teacher you ensure that a student achieve the basic learned write English?
Well, the teachers can use a lot of tools and a lot of strategies because we have new didactic activities. We have the role plays, we have the games, the video games, the dialogues, the project-based learning, and a lot of other tools. These tools allow students to use the language and to practice the language, not only in the space of the classroom, but also in their lives. So the teachers have a lot of tools that can use and ensure that students achieve the basic learning rights in English. Well, we have other tools like visual and digital aids because the students likes and demonstrate interest in the context that they understand that they see in their lives. So if we have a good strategy to keep our students engaged to the lesson, we have a motivated classroom, a participative classroom, and we can have a very good results.
Number 5. How effect, effective do you consider the subject English curriculum for grades 6 to 11 in preparing students for global communication?
Well, it depends because some schools use a curriculums and others use a different. So we need to think first in first place that what is the topics and what is the lesson we want to teach to our students. Well, in the most important parts, we have the grammatical and the communicative skills. We need to implement these challenges to the students because they need to practice, and a lot of schools can't follow these rules, these guidelines, because the lack of time, the teacher training, or the lower resources that they have. So the curriculum depends on the school, but if you have the basic lessons, the basic um, tools, the basic teaching, you can do a very good practice on your teaching, and you can have a support system to truly prepare your students for communication in their lives. So it depends more.
Number 6. What and you adjustments should be made to do suggested English curriculum to better adapt in Colombian sociolinguistic context?
Well, the curriculum should include um, the the problems that the local context can have, and encourage the students to use the English not only to the classes but also in their lives. The teachers can improve this with the flexibility of games and video games, video tools, technological, that can have an engagement for part of students, because they can use that to improve the skills, and it depends on their culture and environment too. But if the teacher and the guidelines adjustments made taking in thought that the multilingualism rather than just bilingualism would also make a more inclusive and realistic lesson to the every part of the world or the environment of the teaching, so like Colombia or other parts of the world.
Number 7. How can casting at technologies support the teaching and learning of English as a foreign language in Colombia?
Well, there are a lot of cutting edge technologies that support the teaching and learning in the foreign language in Colombia. But the apps, the interactive platforms, and the virtual exchange can provide students with exposure to authentic English. But you need to have your precautions, because in the world that we live today, we have a lot of danger in the virtual world. So you can provide your students to an authentic and practice opportunities, but you also need to personalize that learning and allow the student on a area that don't have danger. So you can use tools like YouTube, Duolingo, Google Classroom, and other tools that make the English more accessible and engaging to the students.
Number 8. What are the main challenges teachers face when teaching English to students while experience educational needs in an inclusive classroom?
Well, right now I have this challenge, and in my opinion, I think the main challenges we can have to include the special educational needs is in an inclusive classroom is to ensure that the students can understand the topic, not only the students that don't have any problems, also the students that need special attention. So you need to focus that on your training methodologies and adapt your materials, your tools, your practice, your activities, and make that with appropriate resources for these students with disabilities. You can find creative ways to give your instructions, your lessons, and ensure that students are included. You can use activities, and you can have guidelines um, to the teachers that can help you in this part of your practices or your job. So it is very important to learn that you you are not only going to have class with like we say normal students. You can have disabilities students, and you need to find your way to make your classroom happy and attract their attention to adapt there to want to learn a new language like is English.
Thank you very much, teacher Clara, for
Right.
you valuable time answers, you ideas. You be very helpful for my academic work. This has been the end of the interview. Bye bye.